Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to another exciting session on Antwork Masterclass on digital marketing. We'll just have to wait for a couple of more minutes. Our speaker is having some issues connecting to the Zoom session, but he's joined very shortly. And let's give him a couple of minutes. In the meanwhile, let me just set up the some ground rules. Please stay on mute during the session. It helps everybody hear the speaker well and understand what he's talking about. And if you guys have any questions about that you want to ask Charit today, please post it in the chat box, and we will take it up as and when we can during the entire session. So we'll be starting very shortly. Thanks for your patience. Okay, I think Charit will be joining us anytime soon. In the meanwhile, welcome once again, folks, on a Saturday afternoon to the Antwalk Masterclass. This is an AMA session with Charit Anchan, who will be taking questions on how do you get into a digital marketing career, how important are certifications, how do you ensure you get hands-on experience to showcase on your profile, many such questions today. While he joins, I'll just give a brief introduction about Antwalk and what our mission is. So Antwork is a platform where we focus on preparing early professionals and graduates who want to enter into multiple digital first domains, including digital marketing, cybersecurity, user experience, data engineering, and so on. And the way we do that is give you guys an opportunity to learn from the real professionals who have been in this space for a good few years of solid experience, and can learn from them in multiple formats. Definitely through these live events, we have a lot of free content on our platform where they are covering different topics in each domain. And of course, we have our premium 16-week programs that these professionals will come and train you guys during those 16 weeks. So definitely check out all our variety of content. We also have job boards on both LinkedIn and on our website where we regularly post entry level positions for you people to check out and apply to. So that's about Antwork. I think we have almost close to 40 people today. Welcome once again, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions for Charit, let's post it in the chat box, and we will take them up during the session today, which will be anywhere between 60 to 75 minutes. Please stay on mute at the same time. So I have Charit joining me now. Hi, Charit. Are you able to hear us?
Hello,
Hey, Charit.
how are you?
I'm good. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I'm glad you were able to join us. I think we have a very good set of folks already on the call. We have close to 40 people on the session. I have given a brief introduction about what Antwalk is. I think we can get started and get into the Q&A session quickly. So once again, welcome, guys. So today's agenda would be, after I introduce Charit to all you folks, we will be focusing on key topics on what kind of digital marketing roles are there, what is the scope, and what kind of demand is that in today's world, how important are certifications to enter digital marketing, and how should a person, either a graduate or a early professional who wants to transition into digital marketing, look at building their profile in order to get into digital marketing as a career. And of course, if you have more questions which are not any of these buckets, please post them on the chat box and we will take them up as well. With that, I would like to introduce Charit today to the session. Welcome, Charit. Charit is a passionate digital marketer with close to 6 years of full stack experience in digital marketing. He's currently working as a digital marketing manager at Amazon Prime Video and has had previous stints at brands like Eureka and IFB as well. Charit brings with him an expertise in developing omni-channel or multi-channel kind of digital marketing strategies, including social media marketing, paid, and of course search engine optimization, which are three key levers in today's digital marketing world. He's a passionate, cross-functional, creative, and results-driven digital marketing professional, and he strongly believes that while data should drive decisions, but with a fresh creativity to support it, so that the ultimate goal of aggressively growing the business or your idea is met. Welcome, Charit. Welcome to the session today. With that, let's get started.
Thank you.
Charit, while people start posting their questions on the box, I will get started with my first question.
All right.
You've been in the marketing world for more than 5 6 years now.
Mhm.
What roles do you see as the in-demand roles within digital marketing today?
In terms of digital marketing, right?
Yes.
So I think the first and the major role, because initially, even when I joined, we used to hear things like content is the king. In terms of traditional marketing, it has already been said that customer is the king. But in terms of digital marketing, you can't really reach the customer unless and until you have a very great content. So in terms of digital marketing, this the say goes on like content is the king. So I think content marketers have a major role to play. Apart from that, paid ads, the people who do have experience in terms of paid ads and can run ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, where actually people are, I mean, let's say in terms of social media, majorly the people are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn in terms of professional or B2B things. So yeah, so all these kinds of ads, if a specific person knows how to run ads and how to optimize them, how to use the data being collected, how to retarget those people, if a person knows that, that's a great thing. That's a great profile to have. Apart from that, I would say search engine optimization, because search engine optimization, it is more or less like, having a long term plan. I always compare search engine optimization to going to the gym,
Mhm.
because it's not like you just go to the gym for one day and you have a great physique. It doesn't work like that. It's
Well
just
said. Yeah.
the same case in search engine optimization. You don't do search engine optimization for just for one day and you start ranking. It has to be a continuous process. I mean, all you need to do is, you need to do some kind of off-page SEO, some on-page SEO tactics, some technical SEO. You need to constantly build on doing that, and one fine day you'll start ranking. Yeah, search engine optimization optimizers also have a very good role to play. So yeah, so overall, I think it is more or less like paid ads specialists, search engine optimizers, content writers, and mostly email marketers will play a very important role in the future.
Hmm.
Emails we neglect because we think who actually reads emails these days. I mean,
Right.
if we all are a fresher in the market, we'll all think like this. But yeah, so let me tell you a fact that email marketing is one of the best source of digital marketing, because emails get the most open rates. And if you're targeting some professional kind of audience, then email marketing is going to be your best bet. It is a process. I mean, you start building a list, you start sending them introduction emails, and then try and get in, personalized emails and all those stuff. Then it works. So
Hmm. Hmm.
according to data, email marketing works. So I think, yeah, email marketing is one of the best bets as well.
Understood. Understood. Very helpful. And where does a role like, is there a digital marketing generalist role that exists in the market, or is there all of these? Anybody who gets into this function has to pick up one of these sub streams.
So it is more or less like having one or two most things on your favorites, or the things that you want to actually build your career in. You should know all the things. I mean, all the basics and fundamentals, you should know about them. Because if you are into, or if you want to get into digital marketing, you should know that what the other person is doing, what your team members are doing. Let's say if you are into content, you should know what search engine optimization is, what paid ads is, how to actually send out emails, what are the softwares. Just the basic knowledge itself is enough,
Hmm.
right? But you should have your strong areas. So that is what but it is. But in terms of a startup, wherein they can't really afford a lot of people to hire a lot of people, what they do is they hire a full stack digital marketer who knows all the things in proportion. So yeah, a digital marketer, a full stack digital marketer role definitely exists. I started off as a digital marketer.
I
I
see.
mean, I had to do a lot of things at IFB. So yeah, it exists definitely, and it is one of the highest paying jobs. And I mean, if you compare all these things, all the different profiles that we have, a full stack digital marketer, if you know a lot of things, definitely you'll be getting paid more.
So let's talk about that a little bit, right? When you look for an entry level um, digital marketing professional as a hiring manager, what are some of the traits you look for when you get the first kind of interactions? What are you evaluating?
I would say unlike the traditional marketing thing, digital marketing is a job or a career that actually constantly evolves with time. I mean, what is relevant today won't be working out tomorrow.
Hmm.
So you need to be very creative enough. So first trait we see that how creative a person is, and there's no rule to actually judge someone from the creativity because while interviewing, it would be hardly for 30 minutes, and you can't judge a person's creativity in those 30 minutes. So what we do is we give them some kind of projects or assignments initially to just test their creativity. I mean, how would they use their creativity to bring out some other kind of, the basic things are there, but what additions can you get to the table? That's one thing that we get. And they should be eager to learn because, like I said, digital marketing is a thing that wherein you get to, there's constantly updation of all the things. Like, what if Google comes in with an update? So the things that we are doing current will no longer be applicable because
Hmm.
Google comes up with update quite often. So you need to be very eager to learn. And yeah, so you should be adaptable as well. You should be able to work for long hours because in terms of digital marketing, I think most of the jobs require you to be very adaptable because over here what happens is in some areas like let's say search engine optimization, you need to be very hardworking. I mean, you need to keep on doing some kind of monotonous work at times. So you need to adapt to that as well.
It's a very interesting set of points you called out here, right?
Mhm.
It seems like at least in the entry level, while the fundamentals is good to have, but a lot of the skills that you talked about are around the softer aspects of it, right? Whether it is being adaptable or being innovative in what
Mhm.
you're doing, or the creative aspect comes in analytical thinking, right? So
Mhm.
my next question is, therefore, there is a lot of noise around these certifications, digital marketing के लिए ये certification है, वो certification है. So
Mhm.
how does that fit into this entire piece when you're looking as a hiring manager? Are you even focusing on certifications?
I would say certifications would be the last round of things that we actually look out for. Certifications is more or less like because even we have been through all these things, we know how easy it is to get certified. So rather than certifications, what we actually focus on is on what kind of practical knowledge they have. Unless and until they are freshers into the market, what we look at is how good their fundamentals are, how good their basic knowledge is
Hmm.
unless you're a fresher, of course. But if you're an experienced person, let's say 1 or 2 years of experience into this industry, then we definitely don't look at certifications. What we look at is what kind of practical knowledge they have, how many times they have failed. We actually, at Amazon, to be
Hmm.
precise, we actually look at that rather than the times they have succeeded. We look at the times that how many times they have failed and how did they overcome that. That's a very unique question that we tend to ask at Amazon. I mean, so by this we get to know that even if because it is not a certain thing that you'll definitely succeed in all the campaigns that you run. There would be times that you might make a loss, or there would be times that you might fail drastically, but how do you overcome that? That is a question. I mean, if people have failed previously, they would definitely have something to speak. If they don't, then it's well and good. But yeah, certifications. Uh, to be honest, if there are two people in the interview rounds and both of them has the same set of caliber, has graduated from the same set, same tier college, all those things are constant. Only then I would consider certifications as an upper hand. I mean, yeah, that would be the only case I would say because certification it only acts up as a great thing on your resume.
Understood.
I've interviewed a lot of people who are basic Google certified. I mean the fundamental certified, and they have immense set of knowledge than people who have certification from MICA. So MICA is a very great university when it comes to advertising,
Hmm.
but Google certification is free of cost, of course. But yeah, so the set of knowledge that they had, I mean, the people who had completed Google certifications was immense in compared to people who from MICA.
Understood. I think that's a very interesting question on that line from Vani, right? She says how to take the first step for a job in digital marketing as a fresher who doesn't have any experience but has many certifications.
Okay. When it comes to digital marketing, all of us need to understand one thing. The focus of the interviewer, because as an interview, the current situation, it is pretty messed up. And people will definitely hire digital marketers, but there's a catch. They'll only hire digital marketers who have practical experience. And when I say practical experience, it doesn't have to be from job.
Hmm.
Digital marketing actually gives you the power to test all the things on your own. I think if you guys have completed your certifications, it would be from some institute or from your own self. You must have done that. But yeah, you can run a Google ad at just 1 rupees. I mean, you don't need to run the entire ad. You just need, let's say, even if you have a budget of, let's say, 500 rupees, you can definitely run an ad for 2 days. And even if you don't want to spend those 500 rupees, you can definitely run an ad for just register on Google for 1 rupee, and then you can start running those ads. But you just can't actually run those ads, but you can set up and initialize the whole ad. You can do that. You can learn Google ads from that. In terms of Facebook ads, again, you don't need to even spend 1 rupee. You can actually initialize the whole Facebook ads right from start to end. You can do that. You can do that for LinkedIn, Twitter. You can do that. In terms of search engine optimization, what you can do is you can actually learn different tactics. So it is more or less about learning different tactics. See, all of you guys who want to enter this market would have the fundamentals cleared. I'm assuming that. But the thing to be considered over here is you just don't need the fundamentals. You need something, some more knowledge other than what the fundamentals are. And for that, you need to have some kind of, advanced knowledge. And that would come with, with time, either with time or else if you have a good mentor in your life. Or if, definitely if you have done your course from some institute that, actually has experienced trainers into the panel, all those things. Yeah. So you need some kind of things that, that actually makes you think that digital marketing is just not the fundamentals. It is about the advanced strategies that we use. I mean, let's say I just discussed one point with Sriram yesterday that in the college we've been taught that there are 5 P's of marketing, 5 P's of marketing, like product, price, place, people, and promotion. We've been taught all the time, all these times in our college during graduation days, that these are the 5 P's. But what if the 5 P's fail? What after that? We've never been taught about that, because our college professors, they won't really understand about how these things work in the real life, in the corporate world. But an experienced person in the market will definitely know how to do that. I mean, obviously, if they have a lot of experience, and obviously if they have failed, because a person who has failed into all these things can tell you a lot about the digital world, rather than a person who has actually succeeded all the time. Because
Hmm.
in digital marketing, it is definitely going to be a time, there's definitely going to be a time wherein you'll fail at times. Because right now, if we talk about the current situation, in terms of Facebook ads, you can see a rise of 200%, 200 literally 200% rise in the spends,
Hmm.
and the results are just the same. It is just because of the iOS 14 update.
I see.
Yeah, so things keep on changing. You need to keep on learning things. So right now, if you go for an interview, let's say for paid ads, something into paid ads, and if you know what the iOS 14 update is and how to tackle that, you might definitely have a chance better than your other interview.
Well said. Well said. So we have few more questions on those lines. I'll take
Mhm.
one from Debanjana Bose. She says, "It's I have a total of 3 years of experience, and I'm recently shifting my career to digital marketing. I have done a course on that, and at present, I'm working as a digital marketer in a consultancy. Now
Mhm.
I'm planning to get an MBA in distance mode. For future growth in career, will the MBA degree help?"
So MBA is more or less like a degree, and when it comes to digital marketing, like I said, a degree is secondary. what actually people look out for is practical experience. I myself am just an undergrad. I prepared for my MBA. I gave my CAT exams, my CET exams. I scored 99.89 in CET. I just lost Jamnalal Bajaj by 1 seat. But I had something in my mind that if I don't get into JBIMS, I won't actually do MBA. If not JBIMS, then no MBA. But because I had some job offer in my hand, so it was a startup, Eureka.
Hmm.
It was a UK based pharmaceutical company. So I had an opportunity to work as the digital marketing manager. So it was a great opportunity. I was supposed to get paid at par with what the mediocre MBA colleges pay. So I thought that doing an MBA is not going to make any sense in my professional career unless and until it is from a top notch college. So I decided not to do MBA. But yeah, so MBA, it also plays an important role to make your fundamentals clear. Like if we talk about the Indian education system, unless and until it is a very, it is not affiliated to some government institutions, curriculum is not going to change for a very long time. So it means that the things that we are learning currently, it is quite old. So in terms of, I am not against MBAs. I mean, but yeah, even Elon Musk had said this. I think a couple of months ago that he would never hire MBAs. But nevertheless, you can go for an MBA. But I would say while doing a MBA, work on other skills that actually make you better in your professional career. And the skills can be sales, how to talk to a person, how to convince people, negotiation skills, some digital marketing skills, and then it could be more or less like some analytical skills. Because these are the skills that actually matter when it comes to in the corporate world. You need to communicate with your clients, you need to communicate with your peers, you need to communicate with your bosses. So you need to actually, if I have an idea and if I can't communicate it well, so it won't make any sense. So yeah, so apart from having digital skills, you also need a lot of different skills.
Well said. I think, see, also a couple of questions are on a similar note here. It's more like they are already doing an online course
Mm-hmm.
and they want to also understand what else to do to increase the options for getting the job, whether it is from RIA or whether it is from, so one more individual who was asking something similar. Yeah, Karthik, online marketing course, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk a little bit about these online courses, right? I think because there are a variety of them out there. What is your take on the online courses? Are they sufficient? What are the type of online courses available? What should people focus on if they are interested in taking this a course?
So I've been a trainer at Upgrad. You all must have heard
Hmm.
about the name about Upgrad. I've been a trainer at IIDE. IIDE was ranked as India's number one digital educational institution in the year 2019 and 20.
Hmm.
So I've been a trainer at both of these places. So one thing that I learned was, so I have access to their courses as well. I mean, their courses, when I talk about Upgrad's course, their complete course, the main course, it costs close to 1,40,000. And IID's course, it costs close to 60,000, I'm assuming. So
Hmm.
yeah, so let's talk about the recorded courses. Sriram, what is the actual word for the recorded courses?
You can say self-paced, I guess.
Self-paced courses, I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
Hmm.
Self-paced courses, yeah. So self-paced courses are actually designed in a way that, professionals or early professionals who are actually working, who don't really have much time on their hand, but still want to learn those skills, they get a chance to enhance their career in terms of digital marketing or whatever the specific course is. But when you learn such things, when you learn things, that you actually want to build a career in, or things like digital marketing, which actually need more practical knowledge
Hmm.
rather than just theoretical knowledge. In these terms, self-paced courses are a big mess up because you won't really communicate with a lot of people. I mean, if you have any kind of doubts, you won't be able to ask those doubts to someone. And even if you get to ask those doubts, it would be through the forum, or you'll have to wait some time. Let's say you'll have to wait for your turn, which could be a week ahead. So the thing about self-paced courses, although we are into, get in this pandemic, everything, it has to go digital, of course. But the thing is, self-paced courses, it has a downside that, you can't really ask questions. There's a lack of practical knowledge, and there are a lot of people in one batch itself. So that is a very big problem, because what happens is there's no individual focus.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
there. And about IID, I would say, over there, what happened was, when I was there, they used to focus just on the fundamentals. I mean, just by clearing those fundamentals, you won't really get a job. Even if you get a job, it would take a lot of time for you to understand how the actual world works, how the actual digital world works. Because
Understood.
all you know is how things work. You don't really have any practical experience in actually implementing those things.
Right.
So implementation is going to be the key when it comes to you clearing those interviews.
So what kind of courses? I mean, see, I understand. So self-paced, you're saying they have their own disadvantages. So I mean, there are courses out there, including Antwork, for example, where we are doing these live classes, right? So would that be a better way to go about it in your mind?
Like I said previously, what happens is, you need to learn from somebody who has actually done those things. Only then you won't waste time in failing about whatever things you're doing. Practically, you will have to fail to learn. You'll have to fail to understand. But if you don't want to do that, you'll have to learn from somebody who has already failed, right?
Yeah.
Or who has already done those things. So that is where, courses which actually has lot of experienced people on board. So getting trained by such people is going to be an advantage, no matter what.
Hmm.
Because like I said, if the theoretical things, if it fails in the market, how to handle those things, that would come only with experience, and not with some book. A book can't teach you how to make money. That will come only with experience.
I think there is another theme of questions, Charit, where people are asking, how do I prepare myself for securing a job in an MNC, whether it is an Amazon or an IBM? How do you even think of going about it?
That's a very interesting question. So this is something that I actually found out by doing some kind of research. So what I did was, initially when I was starting off my career, LinkedIn was just a basic thing. I mean,
Hmm.
it was not far. I mean, I don't want to sound pretty old. I'm just 26 right now. So yeah. So what happened was, I started researching about the people who are actually working in this industry. So what I noticed that majority of the people have not even done their MBAs. I mean, they are just undergrads at
Hmm.
that time, of course. And the one thing that was very shocking to notice, that the current position that they have is similar to it is similar to the position that they actually started off with. And throughout their career, they've worked in those similar verticals, in that similar profile, in the similar industry, and hence they've got a chance to work for a major organization in the similar profile, because they already have had that same kind of experience. For example, if I want to work for Amazon Prime Video
Hmm.
specifically, so I work for Amazon Prime Video US. So over here, I had experience in terms of the US market. I had experience in terms of OTT market, because I had worked for TVF as well. I had interned for TVF for
Hmm.
quite some time during my undergrad's day. I had done that, so I had experience with that as well. So I think somewhere or the other, this played a very important role when it comes to securing a job for a US market. So in the similar fashion, if you want to work for some major organization, have some goals in your mind. And if it doesn't work out, let's say if Amazon Prime didn't work out, I would have tried for Netflix. If not Netflix, I would have tried for some other OTT. But yeah,
Hmm.
my majority, the major focus that I had was to work for Amazon, because Amazon is a major brand, and what Amazon stands for is pretty amazing. Amazon stands for customer service. The first thing that we've been taught during the induction days is you need to focus on the customer. So yeah, that is how a major, your if your mind is aligned to the goals of a company, even that could help. I mean, let's say if you are, if you want to interview for Tata, so Tata stands for trust. And if you are showcasing a very trustworthy person during your interviews, that could act as a major benefit for you by in clearing those interviews as well. So whatever it is, start off your career in that similar industry. If not, try and gain some experience in that industry. Let's say if you have already started of your career 3 years into it, 4 years into, five, six, whatever it is, but make sure that you learn specific things about that industry, because in during the interview they won't ask you things like what is search engine optimization, they won't ask you things like what is email marketing or what is paid ads. They'll ask you things more or less related to those specific industries, and
Hmm.
how to do that, how to do this. And let's say if this is the scenario, what would you do? What would be your reaction? What would you consider? Something more or less like that. Of course, not just one answer. You'll have to clarify the reason for that as well. But yeah, just make sure whatever things that you have in your mind, you are very open to say it. The communication, there should be no communication gap. Whatever things that you have built up in your mind, you should be able to communicate it well. And yeah, keep on learning. I think this is what digital marketing is about. You keep on learning, you keep on updating yourself, and that is a best marketer, I would say, is someone who keeps on updating himself.
I think that's a good point to just introduce our audience with what we are doing at Antwork as well, right? I think a lot of the points you touched on
Mhm.
uh, is what we are trying to break into the program that we are introducing in digital marketing, right?
Right.
Uh, so, for example, we said that it's good to learn from the people who have made the mistakes, right? This 16-week boot camp that we are introducing in digital marketing is going to be completely driven by experts who have worked in industries in top brands, whether it's Netflix or Amazon Prime, like Charit or Unilever, Mo Engage, Domino's, and so on, right? So people who have been in that space have spent a good chunk of time in different aspects of digital marketing are going to come and train the cohort. That's one. Second is, like you said, the kind of skills that you talked about for an early professional is not just restricted to digital marketing, but also to the soft skills part of it. So we are going to put a lot of emphasis on communication, presentation, even things like how do you negotiate with your employer and so on, right? So there's going to be an equal emphasis on the soft skills part of it. Third is it's an online program, but it's going to be a completely live program. Classes will be on weekends. Each of the instructors will come and take the classes live on Zoom. And of course, you'll be able to get your hands dirty through real world projects. These are projects that are designed by these instructors and will get, using the tools that are important for each of these modules. In fact, for example, if it's a performance marketing module, you will be given a budget and you'll have to run a campaign on Google Ads, similar to what Charit was talking about. You will be using RF as a tool to run a full website audit for the SEO module and so on. So we have close to 10 plus projects where you get your hands dirty. And at the end of the boot camp, you will be able to have a grasp of the key modules, whether it is fundamentals of marketing, content, SEO, social media, paid, analytics, email, while Charit is going to be taking the email and newsletter marketing module, uh, overall strategy, and of course, next generation techniques and brand and storytelling. Uh, so you will have a full grasp of digital marketing. And of course, it depends on your choice, what your interests are, in which kind of entry level role you want to get into. And so if you guys are interested in getting access to this program, there is a link here. We have put it on the chat box as well. Please sign up on that link. One of our education counselors will definitely reach out to you, give you a lot more details, and we'll get you onboarded for the upcoming batch in May. Yeah. So that's the brief about our bootcamp. Let's continue back on to the AMA session. I think we have a couple of more questions coming up here, Charit. Darsh has a question. What is the top skill we must get in digital marketing?
Um, so there's no such thing as top skill. It differs from job to job. It differs from profile to profile. Let's say if I am into paid ads, so I majorly take care of paid ads. So let's say even if I'm into paid ads, my top skill can be into Facebook, or it can be into PPC, that's Google Ads. So yeah, so it differs from person to person. It differs from profile to profile, from job to job. Let's say you are into search engine optimization. So your top skill can be link building strategies, or it can be technical SEO, or it can be majorly a full stack SEO expert, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's no such thing as you can't be good at everything. You have to know about everything. There's no doubt about it. You have to know, at least know what things are and how things work. But you need to be good at only the things that you wish to, because only then you'll be happy with a job, or you will love what you're doing. Unless and until that is not going to happen, you won't love your job. You'll just have a job, a random job. And trust me, I've had that, and that is a very bad thing to have. I mean, if you have a job wherein you love what you're doing, I mean, not love, you're okay with what you're doing, then definitely that is going to be a much satisfying life than something doing something that you don't even like doing.
Understood. Harshit has a very pointed question based on your journey, Charit. He says, I noted all your points, Charit, but can you please share your personal experience of how you started the internship in TVF and then make it into Amazon Prime Video?
So I think initially starting off my career with TVF was somewhere I had started. I was 18, 17, 18 something. So I got a job at a call center in Mumbai, because I stay in Mumbai. Mumbai is, it had a lot of call centers
Mm-hmm.
back then. It still has. So I got a job over there for close to 4 or 5 months. And during those 4 or 5 months, they actually used to train us how to communicate well. So initially, the 2 months training was just about how to talk well. I mean, not just Indians, people from the US used to come and teach us how to talk well, how to talk to customers,
Mm.
how to convince them, because I was into credit card sales. So, yeah, so it was majorly about sales. So that is where I learned how to talk. And then, the curiosity actually generated. I started talking more, because the place that I come from, we don't really have a condition that you need to speak in English in your school or even in your college. So my basic communication skills, I lack confidence. I didn't know how to speak in English. I mean, although I knew how to speak in English, I didn't know how to communicate well. So there's
Mm.
a difference between both of them. That job actually helped me. And then one of my friends, she used to work for TVF as a content writer. So she just randomly asked me that, do you want to, because I used to crack jokes. I mean, so there was a trend. The trend of stand-up comedy actually started back then.
Correct.
So there were Biswa and Kanan Gill. They actually started off their YouTube career, because
Mm.
that was long time back. And TVS was just starting. So she just asked me that, do you want to intern over there? So yeah, so I said yes, because the team was just close to 20 people, and I was one of them. So TVF was just starting off back then. So it was a great experience working over there. That actually boosted my confidence. So I worked there for close to 1.5 years. After that, I started focusing on my education. I secured some good marks, and then I started working with IFB Industries as a
Mm-hmm.
marketing executive. So while working over there, my salary, it was 18,000. I'm being very frank over here.
Mm.
But I started off my career into offline marketing. After a period of 6 months, they were at IFB. They started off building their digital team, the core team, and they had put out pamphlets out in our office that if somebody wants to apply, they can. Obviously, they'll have to clear the interviews. So I studied basic things about digital marketing, gave the interview, cleared the interview, because I thought digital, actually, the word digital actually, I would say it actually made me very curious. So what I did was I studied for the interview, gave the interview, and I cleared the interview. And a matter of fact, as soon as I cleared the interview, my salary from 18,000 it got raised to 25,000. And back then in 2014, a 21-year-old guy earning 25,000 was a
Nice.
big deal. Just an undergrad, that was a big deal. So I thought, why not study more and make a career out of it? So I started studying more, got certified from good universities, started building up my knowledge. And yeah, so the practical knowledge was, of course, during my job because we failed multiple times. So there was a lot of campaigns that we failed. There was a lot of campaigns that we actually made a lot of money from. I To be frank enough with you guys, there was a time. I mean, we ran a campaign on Facebook for Women's Day, and in that we made a turnover in just 10 days. We got a turnover of 16 crores. So that was
Wow.
just due to one campaign. So I got an incentive of 1 lakh rupees from the India Ahead. So that was a major motivation boost as well. So yeah, apart from that, for I worked as a digital marketing executive at IFB for close to 1.5 years, and after that there was an vacancy as a assistant manager of digital marketing at IFB. I applied for that. Fortunately, I cleared it, and then I worked there for close to 4 years. After that, I wanted to do my MBA. So I left the job and I started preparing for my MBA. I prepared for close to 2 months, 3 months. I mean, I used to prepare for a lot of, I've prepared for my MBA for close to 1 year. But yeah, I took an off of 2 months to completely focus on the learning on preparing part. I scored good, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get into the college that I wanted to. But fortunately, I gave interviews and I cleared interviews at two startups. One of them was Eureka. They were offering some good amount of salary because it's a UK based company. They were offering
Mm.
good amount of salary. So over there, my actual learning, took place in terms of the international market. So over there, what I learned was the way we Indians react to things, and the way that the Westerners react to things is completely different. Because what we Indians focus on is much more of quantity, and what the Westerners what they focus on is the quality of things.
Mm.
Slowly and steadily, even we Indians, our generation is majorly focusing on the quality part, quality aspect, but Westerners they're already there. So whatever campaigns or whatever things we had to do was majorly into the quality part. So I built up a team over there. I mean, I was the first one to get on board. I built a team over there, and because we was just starting off, we didn't really have any source of income from the digital aspect. But while leaving, I still remember we were making close to 10,000 pounds a week. So that was a major achievement for me to talk about during the next interviews. The next interviews I gave close to 20 different at 20 different companies
Oh.
because I wanted to switch because I had some good experience. I wanted to make a switch.
Mm.
So I worked for 1 year over there, 1 year and 2 months, something like that. So I wanted to make a switch, and I gave 20 odd interviews at major companies, and I got a call from two of them. The first one was Amazon Prime Video, and second one was Bewakoof.com. So I chose Amazon, of course, because it's a very big name in terms of all the companies around the world, and also they were paying almost double to what Bewakoof was paying. Yeah.
Got it.
So if you grow when it comes to digital marketing, if you have good experience, trust me, your salary will just double with time because this is an industry that is growing, and it is always a good bet to invest in something that is growing. Imagine you being you having investing in Tesla in the last let's say 7 years. 7 years before you invested in Tesla, you would have got so much good amount of returns. Imagine investing in Bitcoin. So that it always invests in the future, and the future is going to be digital. This pandemic has just catalyzed all those things. This was bound to happen. The future is digital, no doubt, but this pandemic has just pushed us more towards the future, the digital future. So yeah, it is always the best bet. So yeah, choose wisely.
Makes sense, yeah. Makes sense. I think we have a few more minutes in this session, Charit. I think Shweta has a question which is more around the CV.
Mhm.
What are few things in a CV that would attract recruiters?
To be honest, I've never seen looked at the CV from a recruiter's point of view. What I look at is the experience that they have. I mean, if a person is is experienced into this, I look at what all things that they have done. I
Hmm.
mean, it can be more or less like increased our revenue from so and so, or it can be increased our email list from so and so to so and so, something like that. So that is something that I look for, the achievements basically. The second things I can talk about is their academics, because we've been told to focus majorly on the academic sessions as well. And apart from that, there is something, the major focus would be the strengths and the weaknesses.
Hmm.
So it's a very tricky thing that, majorly what initially, even when I started off, I thought that, weaknesses, you have to write down your weaknesses as literally your weaknesses. But if you do that, you're definitely not going to clear the interviews. So there's a trick in this as well. I think Antwerp has that thing covered as well in the soft skills. I mean, your
Correct.
strengths and your weaknesses should be. So you always focus on that and know your resume. That is it. Whatever you write on it, you should always have a valid point to cover it up.
Yeah. In
So,
fact, just to add to that, right, Charit, the way we were taught in ISB also during the MBA when we were applying to consulting companies like McKinsey and so on, the
mhm,
idea was to highlight each point on your resume as the framework that we used was, RAC, which is result, action, and context. So anything
correct.
that you highlight on your resume, if you can say, okay, this was the context, this is what I did, and therefore this is what the outcome was, right? Then
Mhm,
that allows that recruiter or the hiring manager to actually see, acha, Sriram ne ye kiya hai. It's not just his roles and responsibility, but this is what he actually did during his
mhm.
stint at this company. So I think that's also one thing I have learned in my experience.
Correct, correct. That's true. That's true.
Great. Yeah, I think there are a couple of questions from a slightly experienced folks, both Karthik and Ria. They had a question. I'm just going to club them together. They have been in the industry. Karthik is a banking professional having 6 years of experience and currently not working, but he wants to restart his career in digital marketing.
Mhm,
He is looking for jobs in and around Mysore and Bangalore. And how
mhm.
can I enhance my practical skills in addition to an online course?
So I think enhancing your practical skills, it will come with time. I mean, I can't really judge anyone on the basis of their learning skills or the time that they will take to learn some skills. But yeah, practical skills is going to play a very important role because you already have experience in terms of the banking industry. I would suggest you to apply for a job wherein you have a role in terms of digital marketing but working for a financial institution. Over there you will have upper hand because you already have the basic knowledge, or I would say advanced knowledge, because you worked for so many years. You will have a lot of knowledge in terms of the banking industry, but now with the fresh experience or the fresh expertise in terms of the digital industry, you would definitely make a very good candidate for the digital marketing role in the whole digital marketing area for a banking industry. That is what I think.
Shweta, I think it won't be fair to ask him this, but I think he has 5+ years of experience. I think we'll leave it at that. We don't want to get into
Uh,
Charit's package right now.
Currently, I think I've got close to 7 years of experience.
7 years, yes, that's right. Okay, I think while we wait for, I think we have a few more minutes, Charit, with you. Harshada has a question. I have an experience of 2 years in web development. Very interesting. How can I restart my career in digital marketing? This is a
So
very
web.
interesting question, right, Charit? I mean, a lot of folks who are in the periphery of digital marketing, right? Whether it is web development or graphic design or
Mhm.
even content writing. How do they think of digital marketing and how they should plan for it?
So the thing is, we have made digital marketing sound like a very different thing, but
Hmm.
digital marketing is nothing more than marketing done digitally. So if you have the skills of a marketer, if you can, actually make your product look like the best product in this world, even if it is not, then you are a marketer. And the only skills you need to learn as a digital marketer is how to promote that product on the digital platform. That's all. And for that, you need to know the basic things. That's for sure, because you need to understand how things work. If you don't even know how the algorithm of Google works, how will you even rank your website? How will you even become a good search engine optimizer? So for that, you need to learn. So even though you're into web development or website development, you've developed many websites, you already know how things work in the back end. But you also need to understand that the words that has been chosen on the website, the first few words that actually make the major impact, and why does it do that? You need to know that. So if you are already into web development, I would suggest you to take up some basic course wherein you actually learn a lot of things about these things, and you get a chance to implement those skills, so that when you go for interviews, or if you want to be a freelancer, you have something to talk about, that I already have that I had that experience, and now because of this new learned expertise, I can do this for you, because I already had that experience. I've combined that experience, my previous experience, with the newly learned skills, and I now currently I am a full package digital marketer with expertise in so and so areas.
I think Himanshi has a similar question. I've just completed my MBA last year and I have 6 months experience in content marketing
Mm-hmm.
and want to enter digital marketing. What's the first step towards that?
I just to you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can send. I just read someone creating a group on LinkedIn. I'm not quite sure about that, but you can send me requests about in on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to connect over there. I'm really sorry. I just forgot the question. She has experience in. She has done a MBA, and she has 6 months experience into content writing. Was it?
Content marketing. That's right.
Content marketing. Okay, sure. So yeah, so content marketing is, I would say, content. Like I said initially in the webinar, content marketing is one of is I would say 20% of the whole digital marketing thing, because whatever you write, because when I say content marketing, majorly what people will think of is content is just writing blogs or writing articles or doing something related to writing, but that is not the case. Content is anything and everything on your website. It can be your logo, it can be your products, it can be your prices, it can be your product images, it can be your videos. Everything that is there on your website is called as content. Because I'll give you a clear example, a live example. If you search for anything, let's say if you go and search for running shoes, the first thing that will come up will be Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it is.
Hmm.
And why does it happen? Amazon or Flipkart, they don't really have written content on their website, not a lot of content. But how do they still rank in terms of, I'm not talking about paid ads, even if in terms of organic ads, how do they still rank for all these things? That is because they have, they know that their content is their products, their prices, and all the things that are covered in the SEO module. And hence they are able to rank for that. So yeah, so you need to, as a content marketer, you already will be aware about what actually content is. I would suggest you to learn something other than content marketing, and then with that club knowledge, you will be a very good package when it comes to digital marketing, because you already have close to 6 months of experience. And with furthermore experience and furthermore knowledge, you'll actually give yourself, let's say, close to 2 years more, and definitely you'll be at a very good position. 2 years more of learning and implementing those things, and you'll be at a very good position. Trust me.
Cool. I think that's a wrap. I think Abhishek, has a question. He's coaching MBA, and would you provide internship under you in digital marketing? Abhishek, like Charit said, do connect with him on LinkedIn, and you guys can have a chat about that as well. Thanks, Charit, once again for extremely insightful session on today's topic. I think a
You're
lot of
welcome.
folks had a really interesting set of questions, and you were able to give your guidance on most of them in a very, very succinct manner. And once again, thanks everybody else for joining the sessions. We have these sessions coming up every week, at least one or two sessions every week. Do make sure to join these sessions. And secondly, if you guys are serious about making a move into digital marketing and are looking to gain some real practical experience from the best of experts like Charit, then do sign up for our 16-week bootcamp. It is going to be starting in May. The links are in the chat box, and we will definitely get in touch with you and give you more guidance on the same. Thanks once again, everybody, for coming on a Saturday afternoon, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you.